we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Shin Gear. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
Shin Gear don't miss, so whatever you need for this upcoming waterfowl season or turkey season, get a hold of them, shingear.com.
Great product, great guys. Holler at Jeff and Carter, and they take care of you over there. With us today from Wynne, Arkansas, Mr. Rowdy Ditto. Rowdy, how are you doing, sir?
Doing good, guys. How are y'all?
Doing excellent. Be a lot better when I hear this crazy-ass story that you've got.
Oh, I've got a crazy one that from way back in 2012 when I was just a young lad.
How old were you?
I was around 17. That'd be 2012. I was a senior in high school.
And so you're out in the woods doing what you do, enjoying it.
Oh yeah. And I'm a pretty avid duck hunter. Been all over this nation. Seen just about everything under the sun. I never thought I'd see what I seen that day. So we're in Rainy Break. A lot of the local folks, we call it the South Line of Rainy Break. And me and my Paul and Chase Flippo, he's one of my really good friends. We were dredging off in there, unloaded the boat, regular morning. You know, dadgum birds were hot during that time of year, especially back in 2012, whenever Arkansas actually held birds. We moseyed in on an old boat, got in our favorite hole. We was like, heck yeah, gonna be a good morning. And it was far from a good morning for old Rowdy Ditto.
Was this on public land or what? Where was this? Yeah,
it's a WMA there in Lynn, Arkansas. I'm originally from Walnut Ridge, Arkansas, which is just to the east of it. And actually, I live in Paragould, and I'm down here in Wynne building the school. So that's the Wynne thing I was telling y'all about.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, WMA, it's called Char Bay Rainy Break. And so let's just get to the short and skinny of it, I guess. So we're sitting there, we have a good morning, and a bunch of out-of-staters are there, and they're doing a thing. I figure y'all know what it is, a bunch of sky-busting bull crap. And hell, I just got pissed off, and I was all like, hell, I'm shooting this dadgum, waterfowl Widowmaker 10 gauge, and I'm going to try to get up there and reach them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was a mallard. Heck, if I remember right, it's been years ago. But bird flew over, I sky busted it, and he sailed like every other one does. And as a young buck, I'm like, by God, I'm going to see if that has a band on it.
Yeah, yeah. We got to make sure the important thing's taken care of.
That's right, some jewelry's on
yeah.
it. So I kick off, and I just kick off, and I'm like, I'll be back in a minute. So I'm probably 200 yards-ish away from where we was at, and really, it gets pretty thick if you get off the beaten path in them woods, So I'm climbing over logs and running through buckbrush and all that stuff. And I come up to a small hole, and there's a bunch of feathers. And I'm like, well, hell, a damn owl or something like that must have got it. I've seen that shit before. And about that time, I was like about to turn around, and I'm right in some buckbrush, and I hear like it sounds like overcup acorns, if you will, but a little heavier, hitting the water.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a thunk, thunk. And I was like, what the hell's that? And then I was like, maybe it's a deer, because hell, I've seen deer in them woods many a times. And anyhow, I'm looking through the woods, and I see a big ass figure, and I'm all like, what the hell's that? I can't really identify what it is out of that distance, especially through all the trees and whatnot. And it's kind of moseying back and forth out of the tree line, and I'm like, what in the fuck is that? And hell, I'm getting the heebie-jeebies thinking about it. So I know it's something to kindly laugh about, I know. And so I'm pretty much a frozen statue. Hell, I didn't know really truly, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. And it gets about 60-ish, 70-ish yards, and I'm all like, I can't believe what the hell I'm seeing.
It's coming towards you? It's coming towards you? Yeah.
Yes, sir. And like I said, I'm pretty much locked up pretty tight. I'm scared. And I'm not scared of a lot of things in them woods. And yeah, I mean, it's a, 9 foot tall fucking giant walking towards me. And it gets within 30 yards and it notices me finally because I was tucked up, like I said, in some buckbrush. And I mean, I had my face paint on and all that jazz. And I had my 10 gauge laid across my chest, and I'm like, Rowdy Ditto, if this son bitch makes one more step to you, you got to kill this son of a bitch. And so, like I said, I'm just sitting there kindly paralyzed, and it raises its shoulders, and it goes like that. And I'm like, oh shit. And so kind of some backstory on Rowdy, kind of getting off topic for a second.
You're good.
But been around the cows and stuff like that all my life, horses, you name it. So you can kind of read. I mean, ducks are the same way. You read body language in the sky, And I was reading its body language. It was all like, I don't know what the hell you are, but I don't like you. It wasn't like I want to eat you, I want to attack you. More like a scared, puzzled look. Did I feel in danger? Yeah, wouldn't you? If something 600 damn pounds and 9 foot tall staring at you, yeah, I was pretty drawled up. But a lot of people probably laughing at me is like, why didn't you shoot it? Why didn't you shoot the damn thing?
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
That's a common deal until you got that gun. That's a big decision to make.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to do because you think somebody's jacking with you. First of all, there's not a lot of 9 feet people, but you think someone's playing a trick on you, and I don't want to go to jail for murdering somebody. I mean, that's a tough deal. My biggest fear would be if I shot the son of a bitch, another one's going to grab me from somewhere else.
Or that you'd only wound it.
Yeah.
Oh, just piss it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where I got, I got a 10 gauge, and by God, there ain't too many things that a 3.5 inch number 2 shot won't take down. You know what I'm saying? Figure,
but obviously, like my mind goes to like we've never studied the anatomy of a Bigfoot. So like, what if they've got some weird armor protection on like their chest plate where, like a pig or something, and at 30 yards,
right?
That's not a. It's not a inside of 15, 20, definitely, but 30 yards, you're still. What if you just piss the thing off?
Did he? Could you smell him?
Honest to goodness, I don't remember. But because I really wasn't paying attention to my senses other than my eyes and what I was hearing, and I literally it was more of a shock and scared, and I guess you could say I was embellishing in the moment. I was like, oh my God, like I ain't worried about smell, taste. Hell, I was chewing tobacco. I don't remember vinegar in my mouth. You know what I mean? So it's one of them ordeals, and I can describe it to a damn T in its face. I mean, I got a damn good look at it. Within 30 yards, I can see it.
Was it ape-like?
Honestly, no.
Human-like? What was it like?
I would say more humanoid.
Hey.
The nose was way different.
Was it what you were expecting a Bigfoot to look like? Like Harry and the Hendersons and all that bullshit? No.
Was it like the video that's in California, the famous video from 1969 where it's
the Patterson film? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Barrel-chested. Yes, it's very barrel-chested. The thighs are real. I mean, he's a fucking masculine thing, whatever. But you know how I would say similar, but not the same.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a variation. Hell, I don't know. I ain't no Bigfoot wildlife studier. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what I can compare it to is if you've ever seen like some like hair on a bear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like real wiry.
Yeah.
And it kind of stuck out, if I can, like from my arm up. Sorry, I'm holding the phone.
You're good.
But it's real wiry, and the real astonishing thing that I can't get out of my head is he was pretty well manicured. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like nasty and like matted up hair everywhere and all that. That's bullshit. Its forehead had, real fine hairs,
Mm-hmm.
and its eyes you could tell where it had like skin underneath. I ain't saying he had no 5 o'clock shadow. He's out there shaving and shit,
Right.
but he was. It had hair right in here, and he was didn't have hair on his nose, didn't have hair really around his lips. Had hair all through here, hair on its cheeks,
Like Planet of the Apes type
and
deal.
yeah, yeah. I mean, for lack of a better term, if you need a visual, yeah. And the lips are very similar to Planet of the Apes. Now that you say that, I didn't even really make that comparison. Very like thin, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And like I guess you could say like prehensile in a sense. Like they were moved out, if that makes sense. Because he was like,
Right.
you know what I
Right.
mean?
Like a gorilla would
Kind
do.
of like
Very,
a gorilla would do.
yeah, very very similar.
Did he stomp or anything while
And
he was grunting? Did he
do what,
stomp
sir?
when he was grunting or just grunt?
No, no, it was like a real, like a startle. You know, like when
A deer.
for example, you're saying a stomp, like a deer
Yeah,
stomping
yeah.
at you. Yeah, I thought the same thing, but no, he just went like a real grunt, and then he kind of turned his shoulders and was watching me like that and walking off. And
Oh
what
fuck.
really screws me up is how big he was, and he really didn't run off. Like he wasn't like sprinting off, like scared as shit of me. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Now, did he have a quicker pace leaving than he did coming in? Yeah, but I mean, as effortlessly as he was moving over them damn flooded timber, and then how quick he disappeared. Like he disappeared out of my sight within 75 yards, just like he knew how to go.
Mm.
What everybody's
You know what I'm saying?
what everybody's going to ask is they're going to like, why didn't you follow him? First of all,
Fuck
I
that.
wouldn't have followed his ass. But no, someone's going to ask that's listening. They're going to like, well, shit, I'd have followed him. No,
No,
you wouldn't have.
No,
You
I
s-
wouldn't have.
Oh,
No, they say they would have, but they wouldn't have.
What time of day was this? Like what?
About 10:30 a.m. It was before we had to leave at noon.
So the sun's up. Like there's no denying.
Oh, bluebird skies,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, there ain't no mistaking what the hell I
Yeah.
Has anybody else had a sighting there ever?
saw. Oh yeah, there's a lot of people in that area that's talked about him ever since I was a young buck. And I mean, that's just stories. And I always thought, because my dad was one of them, which he's passed on now, and he can't tell his stories. But he told me about crap he's seen whenever he was a kid, and I was like, oh bullshit, kind of thing. And until it happened to me, kind of deal. And anyways, like I said, very scared shit out of me, boys.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
I've got two friends that have had encounters that I trust. I mean, guys that aren't bullshitters. Like if I told the story that I had, Jeff's just bullshitting. Guys I know that I trust, and we have a guy that hunts with us that's not a bullshit guy that he was on here. He saw one walk by his truck and didn't realize what it was. So, it's one of those things until someone else sees it, they don't believe it. That's the way life is on there. But so other people in that area have seen it, and it was flooded water, so it's not like you could see his footprints.
No, well, I'm about to get to something very interesting, and I ain't going to say his name because it could get him in trouble. But I have a relative that works for the Arkansas Game and Fish. He's a game warden, and anyways, he casted something that was on the South Line Road. It's actually chained off to the public, but the game wardens use it to go from Hill Slough to the South Line. If anybody knows what that is, listening, and they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And anyways, he casted a print. It was a damn good one, and it was right around 18 and a half inches long. And yeah, and so what happened? There's a place in Walnut Ridge. It used to be called Carson Meat Market, and a lot of people come in there to eat and whatnot. And anyways, like I'm over here like fucking like, oh god. So that's a hangout spot, right? Well, my dad always used to go up there and whatnot and eat and shoot the shit. And one of my relatives came in there and was all like, Ditto, why ain't Rowdy been back out there? Because he usually checks me in the morning, he's like, hey, go on, But he's like, why ain't your boy been back out there? And he's like, hell, he's been fucking spooked for 2.5 weeks. Don't know what the hell's wrong with him. And because I didn't tell my daddy, I mean, I felt fucking
Yeah.
crazy, and one and one day my daddy sat me down and was like, what the hell did you see? And when I told him, he said, he said, that's fucking funny. He said, one of our relatives, he just was up there and he showed me something. And I was like, oh yeah? And he was all like, yeah, he casted a fucking print 2 days
Oh,
before you
wow.
seen it. And I was like, no shit. And he said, yeah. And then we met down there where we made cabinets and shit like that. Because I grew up in a carpentry world. And he came down there and he showed me, and I was like, holy shit. And well, his employer told him to get rid of it if he valued his job.
That's crazy.
And so it's just like mountain lions. But anyways, we ain't gonna get on that subject. But anyways, he said if you value your job, you'll get rid of it. And he said you can only bring it to Little Rock and have us do it. If you try to do it yourself, we won't believe you. So they took it down there to Mayflower, Little Rock, Mayflower, whatever, where the AGFC headquarters is. And he said he never seen it again.
I assume that they think it's going to run duck hunters off. That shit ain't going to happen. Duck hunters are going to go duck hunting.
No.
But it would open up a whole nother group of people,
right?
The Bigfoot chasers, so they're losing some tourism there.
Well, yeah, and a lot of, and that's kind of, my daddy told me to keep quiet for years, and my wife is the one that actually convinced me to kind of tell my story, because I'm kindly a no-nonsense bullshitter, I'm just like, whatever. And, it just got brought up one day, and she's all, you ought to post that on a thing, just being funny, because she screws with me all the damn time. And I'm like, fuck it, whatever, I'll see what happens. And then that Moneymaker feller, that was on the BFRO, the Finding Bigfoot show. He's the one that called me, and I told my story,
So,
and
Bigfoot ate your duck?
Oh, I don't think that. No,
you don't think so?
No, because he came from like the Hill Slough side, and there's no way. I still think it was an owl. You know what I mean? But do I think he may have seen it? You know what I mean?
Right.
And started walking towards it? Yeah. Maybe.
How many hunters are in those woods in a normal season on a normal day? There's a lot of hunters in there, isn't there?
Oh, there's a ton, but most people stay on what we call North Line, and then like the foot logs and stuff like that, which is still north of us. That's where a lot of them kind of gravitate to, especially like your Alabama folks. That's the predominant amount of folks is out of staters, what it used to be before they went to this half season stuff. But anyways, I would say on average, probably in that hole, there's probably 10, 15 trucks. And so, multiply it by 2, sure. Yeah. Whatever. 30 folks.
There's somebody that's listening to this right now that's had an encounter that's never told nobody.
Well,
I'm sure there is.
When you air your story, did any have people message you and been like, yeah, I saw something similar in that same place? Or have you just heard so many stories from growing up there?
Well, both. So, news stories, and I've heard it all my life growing up, you know, in that area. So both, to answer your question, not to, answer the question, but yeah, that.
Yeah. So, I mean,
what I find really astonishing, if you read the comments on the post that blew up, there's people in there that I'm like, I know that guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's all like, and they're like, yeah, I seen one back in '88. I seen one back in blah blah blah. And then, but in the same notion, I've had people call me like, are you the guy that says the Bigfoot shit? He's like, ditto. He said, I know you're fucking crazy. He said, but now I really think you're fucking crazy. It's whatever.
Well, there's a name. There's a swamp name for that area. They've got is it the swamp? Yep. What's the name that they use? There's a different name than Bigfoot.
Boggy Creek.
Boggy Creek, yes. And I've read a lot about. There's a lot of people for hundreds and hundreds of years have seen this Boggy Creek stuff. Yep. And what was the name of the one in Louisiana. Rudatu or Rougarou
Yep.
is in Louisiana.
Yeah, Ruru or something like that.
Rougarou.
Rougarou.
Rougarou. That's it.
But I mean, it's just I can't wrap my head around the people that will be like, oh, I can't believe you didn't shoot it, or I can't believe you didn't chase it down.
Well, I wouldn't have chased it down
Shit.
for sure.
Number one, the motherfucker's got a duck to get in that door over there, and he's probably got to turn sideways to get in the door also.
The only reason I'm shooting him is if I think he's going to come at me to hurt me.
Yeah.
He gets within 10 yards. 10 yards, I'm probably going to shoot his ass and just
Probably.
beg for mercy if it's somebody playing a trick on me.
Right.
I mean, but if for the person that says I'd have chased after it, you're full of shit. They are so grown men are scared of the dark. I've said this for years on this show. They act like they're not, but I've never met a grown man that ain't scared of the dark when the unknown's out there.
Oh, I hate turkey hunting, especially like when I first start turkey hunting and scouting. I hate it. I gotta psych myself up to get out of the truck most mornings.
Right. I get that 100%. I mean, but you know, the men or the hunting group, hell, we're just like, hell, we're gonna put our big boy jeans on and by God, we're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
But
hell, I still get freaked out in the dark. You know what I mean?
Well, I would too if I seen that, but I get that way anyways. But if I'm with a group of guys, it's funny how you're not scared if there's 3 or 4 of you there.
Well, yeah.
But by God, if you're by yourself, it's a deer. It's a brave sumbitch to walk through the woods by himself to go to a deer stand. I've always said that shit because there's all kinds of weird. I'm scared of the dark. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like the unknown.
Yeah.
You know,
For sure.
And and that's shit. You got a lot of balls. If I saw something like that, I don't know that I would go in with a group of guys because I'd be looking everywhere for one. But it's got to drive you crazy that there's not somebody that brings evidence of a dead one back one time.
I agree.
I mean, that would just because it would make you feel better. You'd be like, I know I'm not crazy. I know I saw that. I mean, you would feel better for the rest of your, and everybody. I mean, you would think in a place like that, as many hunters is that someone is shot at one at least.
Right.
Because there's some redneck out there that's going to shoot at it.
30
I
yards,
promise
close
you.
enough.
Yep. Hell yeah. We'll eat that sumbitch.
Shoot them high, pray they die.
Yeah.
Especially in that we call it lawless county. There's enough meth houses around there. I got you shit on that stuff.
There might be some half Bigfoot, half meth head baby running around somewhere up there.
Come on.
Doing some inbreeding.
So how you were certain that you were going to shoot the thing? How much closer were you going to let that thing get before you were like, all right, you just got to fucking do it, Rowdy?
Yeah. So, and that's very fucking valid. So where my mind went was like in cows and shit. You know what I'm saying? If that son of a bitch, kind of bows up and starts like acting like he's going to charge me, I'm about to pull up.
Yeah.
But if he kind of cowers and looks at me, I didn't think that at that point. But all I could think is, if he fucking charges me, you pull this gun, you pull that gun, that's all I was saying in my head.
Yeah.
But otherwise, leave him the fuck alone.
What's crazy is if he wouldn't have noticed you, like would he have just walked right past you? You know what I mean?
I think so. I really do. And because I mean, he was strolling. You know what I mean? He didn't have a care in the world, and dude, it's just weird. I can see his hands pushing over logs, and it's just fucking weird, dude.
So other than that one sound, he never made another sound than that initial
No.
Just silent.
Well, not silent. He walked off.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. But he never.
As far as
vocalized
vocalizations, nothing.
That was the only thing.
That was it.
What did y'all lock eyes? I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that had to feel like a fucking eternity.
Oh yeah, no, it felt like I seen him for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But it was more like probably I looked at him for like 25, 30 seconds, maybe. And then he made a decision. I mean, he was and then started rocking and rolling. And then I'm going to tell you right now, if you ever seen a 300-pound fat boy walk across water, you could have that morning. I'm going to tell you that. Because I was running back to that boat.
I would have too. God almighty.
What'd the people that you were hunting with, what'd they say?
So my dad was a real hard ass. I'm talking like real hard ass. And I was like, we got to fucking go. Like, I was like, we got to fucking go. That's what I kept saying. And he was like, fuck's wrong with you, boy? And I'm all like, God damn it, Daddy, shut up. We got to go. And He was like, all right. And, because I usually don't do that shit. Hell,
Yeah.
I'm pretty, good in the woods, And Chase was all like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all like, dude, we just got to fucking go. Like, I'm just saying, we got to fucking go.
Right.
And I mean, I started picking up decoys and just throwing them in the fucking boat. I'm like, I ain't giving you an option.
We're leaving.
Yeah, we are leaving. And like I said, they didn't really pester me about it, nothing like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't really talk about I probably went back to the woods about 2 weeks later. It was late, very late season. It took me a minute,
God almighty.
What's weirder is like if the game warden, if your relative hadn't have cast that print, you know what I mean? That's like validation to your story. So now
it is.
Now, like going back in the woods, like that something's there. Whereas before you could have been like, maybe my mind was just fucking with me. I don't know. But like now that you got the secondary evidence, something's out there.
Right. And, people's all like, Rowdy might have hit that meth pipe one too many times. I've seen that damn comment 600 times, it seems like. People message me and just being dicks, whatever. But I'm going to tell you right now, that was way before my college era. I wasn't doing no drinking, nothing like that. And I'm just saying, I was very of sound mind.
Right.
And you grew up in the swamps, right? Hunting.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, it's not like you're not out there.
Yeah, no, that's my stomping grounds. I mean, that's where I was born and raised, and I mean, I'm no stranger to them woods by no means. I could take you to the dadgum spot it happened at, like to this day. Because whenever they let the floodgates back out, hell, it dries up. I can walk you right to it. I mean, if anybody ever wanted to go look, like, well, I can see where his point is. Dude, you can tell you what scares me the most? And it ain't really him. It's the fact that something that big can disappear and not be seen.
Right.
And it's all like, what the fuck else is around me kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. It was gone really fast. And it was like I said, I grew up in a construction world. I know what measurements are. I know what to gauge. I can't get down to how many inches the son bitch was. But he was 9 foot tall and 4 foot wide, and I guarantee he was over 600 plus pounds, and he disappeared in 75 yards.
The Indians say, their spirits say that whatever that is, Sasquatch, whatever the names of the Yeti, whatever they call it, that they believe that he isn't supposed to be seen, and that's why he can disappear. He's around, but not be able to see. And I've read that. I've read a ton on Bigfoot. I mean, since I was a little kid, they've interested me. I've never seen nothing or anything, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope I never do.
Yeah, I don't want.
I don't want to see one unless it's strapped to the hood of a car or something. And someone shot it, and then I'd be like, "Thank God, now I seen one." But I don't want to. I don't want to see one. But because I think I would think I was because the same thing you go through. You tell people that. I believe you. I have no reason not to believe you. But there's people who are going to think you're crazy as shit for saying something like that. Same as a UFO, anything.
I get it.
Yeah. If people don't see it, they don't believe it. That's just the way people are. But there's too many accounts of these things. But the hard part is there's never any hard evidence of it. And if you notice, people get pictures of it, they never get a good fucking picture of one ever.
That's facts.
I mean,
I seen one comment. It made me fucking laugh. So there was one guy who was all like, "Well, you should have had a body camera on, then you wouldn't have had to worry about it." Who the fuck wears a body camera in the woods?
Yeah, that's just. But that's typical, like you're gonna just run around. If that's the case, why didn't you take a fucking film crew with you? Fuck, could have had a whole Hollywood production right there. Because if someone gets some footage like that, it's worth millions of dollars.
I would assume,
legit 9 foot, 600 pound fucking Bigfoot sitting right there at you is worth $1 million fucking dollars.
Yeah, no, if I would have shot the son bitch, my first call would have been, or try to find his number, would have been Johnny Morris.
Yeah.
That ain't no shit. I'd have tried to get a hold of Johnny Morris in a damn heartbeat. I guarantee you, I would not be out on this construction site right now.
No, you'd make $1 million a year putting that some bitch in a damn carnival, just riding around and let people see the mounted version of it. But let's say you shot that thing. 17-year-old kid shoots a 9-foot, 600-pound wheel. How far away from you or from your dad?
From my dad, I was over 200 yards.
Okay. That's the longest 200 yards of your life getting to where your friends were to been after you shot that sumbitch. Because the dead silence after you shot him looking around like, oh, fuck, what am I going to do now?
Does he have partners?
Yeah. Oh, they would. Well, I can tell you, I'm a pretty loud feller, and in them woods, they echo a little bit. They would have heard my ass. I promise.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been the screams of been a double reward band mallard if that would have been the screams. It would have been a curdling scream. Get your ass over here now. But until
I'd have been yelling for daddy.
But my hairs would have stood up on my head, and I ain't even got no hair no more, and that shit would have been standing up, waiting on someone to get there, because you would be looking around at you the whole way, wanting to know if there's another sumbitch that's that big going to come get you and pull your arms off of you.
Yeah. I mean, that does go through your mind, that's for sure.
There's a story about a gold miner in California, and he was gold mining, and he got had a family of them come up on him, and they took him into a cave, and they ate his snuff. He had a bunch of tobacco, and they ate it and made him sick, and he got away. Now, the same story, the same looks, just like the one he talked about. You tell me how 200 years ago, or however that would have been in the 1860s, 1850s, almost 200 years ago. And we got a guy the same thing, doing the same thing. And they said they ate his tobacco is what got him away, he thought. Went to town and told stories. Everybody thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely something out. I mean, I'm not going to say there is historical evidence of this creature, right? I mean,
For years.
It just goes. It's called the Gigantopithecus. It's well documented. They were around.
Yep.
So is it out of the realm of possibility that there's still a couple running around the woods? I think not.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely think this is probably just the remnants of what we had hundreds, thousands of years ago.
Yeah, and I think of places like, Saskatchewan and stuff up in Canada, you got that vast forest and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's that's a duck's flyway. And I'm a firm believer, hell, everything else does. They follow things that migrate. I think it migrates.
Really?
Personally. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
It would make logical sense to me, seeing its hair and stuff like that. It seemed like a more winter tolerant animal, unless it sheds or something like a deer. I don't know.
Right.
But, maybe it migrates, it follows rivers. I mean, that's what typical animals do.
Yeah.
Well,
and that where I'm at, tons of rivers. You got the 11 Point Spring River, Strawberry, Black River, runs into the White. I mean, it's right there.
Now there's nothing that area from there. Well, from the Ozarks all the way to the end of Louisiana, New Orleans is thick ass swamp ass forests, thick shit. Just like there is when you go to the Pacific Northwest up around Seattle area to Portland, same way. It's just big trees, but it's thick, and all around the redwood forest. I was there in Northern California last year, and they had all kinds of places there that have seen all kinds of sightings and stuff. But it's real thick, top brush and stuff. We don't see them out around Knox City where we ain't got no fucking trees.
Right.
But you get on the river, and there's some thick brush here in some places.
Yeah.
Along any river tributaries, there's going to be a lot of rivers. So, I mean, thickness. So,
right.
Hey, tell him the skinwalking.
Okay, that's what I just sent you that.
Oh,
we're going to play a video. Can you play that video? That's why he sent that to you.
Oh, okay.
That's why I had it. I've got it. There's a guy that had another podcast. I think it was called the Ninja Butterfly, and we're going to play this video of this guy talks about a skinwalker he did when he was thermal. This makes my hair stand up. This is a creepy ass story.
I don't know. We're
going to see if we can do it with you on here and can do his video also.
I gotta problem solve a couple things in real time here. So give me just a sec.
We will be editing this. Are you in a hurry right now, or do you need to get back to your deal?
Just
no.
Just give me like 30 seconds.
Luckily, I'm part of the management side of the team, so I'm pretty good.
You're the boss.
Just
here.
give me like 30 seconds here to
I ain't.
kind of figure this out.
I've got bosses, but I'm up there.
Will this play? Maybe.
Sitting there for a while, and then out of nowhere,
Can you hear that, Rowdy? You could hear that? Okay, so here's the story.
You out. So the story goes, this guy is pig hunting and he's using a thermal scope. He's been on this field all night, hasn't seen anything move. He's like, you know what, I'm gonna get up from this tree. He's like on some brush and he's like, I'm gonna go across the field. And he's sitting there for a while, and then out of nowhere, a little blob shows up. He's like, here we go, the pigs are coming in. He's locked in, he's ready, you know, for the thing to show itself. But then it gets up and he realizes that this infrared blob is humanoid. And he said it appears to look like a naked human. Goes over to the tree that he was just sitting against and starts checking it out or sniffing it. And the guy is across the field just going like, I don't understand what I'm looking at. Then the thing is on all fours, postures up like it's about to howl, and then in a woman's voice goes, help!
Oh gosh.
Fuck
Help!
that.
Continues to do it. The dude fires one way over the top of this thing's head, and then it goes, I'm injured, help!
Oh,
And then he
Jesus.
sends another one. It runs, and he sends a couple, and he's like,
Yeah.
it ran away from where my truck is, goes back to his truck, never goes in that field again.
Screw that. I would never leave my freaking house.
Never again.
I'm telling you right now, that would be the end of my ass. I don't like anything of the unknown. Fuck that shit. Hell no. Hell no. I've got goosebumps now. Does that not bother you?
Same.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, shit. If you'd have told me that at nighttime riding by myself, I'd be like, oh, Lord, please don't let me have a flat tire. Oh,
So I'm a pretty humorous guy.
Yeah.
So if that thing would have said help, I'd be like, fuck you.
Fuck you. Especially since I got the
Hell
rifle.
no.
I'm not, fuck that.
I'm injured. Help me. Hell no. That's the shit.
No.
That's why I don't watch any kind of movies about demons and shit. I didn't invite them into my world.
Now you can't watch anything about humanoids, Jeff.
I'm glad that was sent to me the other night, and I've talked about it a few times. I've referenced it. We talked about it earlier before this podcast. We did our podcast. But I'm telling you right now, that'd be the end of my ass out there in the woods.
Done?
Fuck, I'm telling you right now, if I take the trash out tonight, I'm going to be thinking about that shit.
Oh, Jeff.
I'm telling you.
Give me just a minute.
You'll be all
I'm on
right.
call.
That stuff, but that bothers me. Oh, that's scary.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
You'll be all right, Jeff. But yeah, I mean, there's shit out there. And like I said, like, I always kind of gotta psych myself up a little bit to go in those turkey woods. Number one, I mean, we got fucking rattlesnakes and pigs. So like, it ain't like I'm just out there by myself
Oh,
without.
y'all down in Texas?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's some shit that I got to worry about, but it is the unknown. And now I guess I'm going to be thinking about humanoids coming up and fucking sniffing the tree that I'm sitting at.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I wouldn't be too thrilled. Now you got me wondering.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Rowdy, I mean, that's a hell of a story, dude. I mean,
I
you
appreciate
obviously saw something.
I appreciate you coming on here and telling us about it, bud. I really do. And
Yeah, man.
Have you been back? You've been back to that hole, haven't you?
Oh, several times.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
you
bet
got
you-
over the hump.
Yeah, no, like I said, it was about 2 weeks is what it took me. You know, I know that doesn't sound like a long time, but I would cowboy up kind of mentality, you know,
Yeah.
just you get bucked off of a horse. I mean, you get back on it.
Do you
And
do you hope that you can see it again? Now, I mean, now cell phones are everywhere. So maybe you could get a picture, or is this something that you never hope to encounter again in your life?
I don't really want to see it now, but I can tell you this, that I carry that right there in my truck at all times because of that.
Yeah.
if this is what's interesting, how old are you right now? 30?
I'm 30.
30
Yes,
years
sir.
old. 70, well, you won't be alive. In 50 years from now, when you're 80, hopefully you're still alive, you're going to have grandkids that are going to be grown men, and they're going to be telling the same exact story forever.
Yep.
This story will be
That's
told, and your family will talk about this forever. And that skinwalker story, too, will be told forever. Because shit, I mean, that's just the kind of shit people talk about. But I appreciate you coming on here and telling us your story. I really do.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys having me, and it was a good experience. If y'all ever want to talk to an old boy from the South, let me know.
We appreciate
we
it.
sure appreciate you. Have a good day, and God bless you, my friend.
Hey, y'all have a blessed
Be
one.
safe
See
out
y'all.
there.
Bye.
Rowdy Ditto
Good story.
with a Bigfoot story.
If you had to choose, I would take Bigfoot over the skinwalker
Fuck yeah.
in a heartbeat.
This thing's changing shapes.
Oh, damn. That makes me, I still, my, oh.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bigfoot.
And you're fixing to leave, and I'm going to be at the lodge by myself. I'm hearing noise and be like,
there
oh,
ain't
shit.
there ain't no skinwalker gonna mess with you in
The
here.
only person walking around here is my dad.
Oh,
You don't think Dad's spirits around this place?
I've not experienced it, so I don't know.
Oh, I have a lot of noises. And
Tony
stuff.
might be a skinwalker later.
True.
Might just skip on down to his skin and start parading around out here.
You know,
I'd take a regular skinwalker than seeing him naked.
I was playing golf with Coach Mack one time and Waney. Matter of fact, I wish we thought about this when Waney was here, and we had a skinwalker story. A local guy here, he married a girl. There was an Indian girl from Wyoming or Idaho or somewhere, like a slot Indian, not a dot. Anyways, she had a relative that got ran over by a car in Los Angeles, and said they were skinwalkers or wherever they levitate or whatever it is, and had levitated in and somehow ended up on the freeway in Los Angeles and got plastered and ran over. And that was their family's whole excuse of how he ended up in Los Angeles, got killed, was that he had levitated himself and he landed in the middle of a fucking highway in Los Angeles, got ran over by a car.
What?
I'm telling you, yes.
Levitated from where?
From Wyoming or Indiana off the reservation, and he ended up dead in Los Angeles in the middle of the road. That was their excuse for him. I think he was just a drunk meth head Indian.
I think he was probably on a little bit of peyote.
But
levitated
or whatever
all the way to L.A.
or whatever the hell they do, where they just go through a portal or some shit. But he was telling us this story, and there's no guy that used to drink a lot that played golf with us, and he had quite the fun with it the whole day.
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit.
Well, that's kind of what we were thinking too. But he was levitated, but it wasn't a skinwalker, but it was the same type of deals. Indians really believe in that. That's their spirit stuff. They believe in that.
I'm sure. I don't discredit everything that they say, but I'm going to call a little bit of bullshit on levitating.
You think that guy's lying about the skinwalker story?
I don't know.
It's a damn good one if he is.
I think I've heard a lot about skinwalkers. They sound very frightening.
That would scare the shit out of me.
So
I don't like that unknown, and I don't like to bring that shit into my life.
Right.
I hope I never encounter that, but if I had to choose between the two, I would take Bigfoot all day long.
Give me Bigfoot and aliens.
Over, I don't know about that.
Give me any mythical creature over a skinwalker.
I don't think aliens are mythical. I don't want to run into that either. I don't.
That or a skinwalker.
I would take, I don't want either one of them. I'd probably take the aliens over skinwalker. Hope they're not going to probe me or nothing.
What I'm saying.
I don't know.
And you got a gun.
I don't think you could shoot and kill an alien, maybe. I don't know.
I bet I could.
Now, skinwalker, I don't think so. I'm telling you right now, I'll talk about that everybody all the time. I'd shoot that Bigfoot shit. Can you imagine after you shoot, the dead silence that would be there after you shot him?
It's not just that. It's just everything that would run through your head before you pull the trigger. It would be.
I would think someone was pranking me.
In an impossible situation, I think.
Yeah. I would think someone was pranking me at first.
Yeah.
And then when you shoot him and his big ass falls over and you're not being pranked, then I'd be like, oh shit, the rest of them are going to rape me and shoot me and rape me and kill me.
But I mean, you can't just sit there either.
No.
So I mean, you got to have some. I got to defend myself at some point.
Imagine you shoot him and you go back to your buddies 200 yards away and you're like, let's load this sumbitch up.
And he's gone?
Yes.
Right.
Then you want one of them injured sumbitches running around with you? Hell no.
Or what if there were two and you kill this one and they carry it off?
It wouldn't matter. First of all, then everybody would think you're damn sure crazy.
Yeah.
It's a no-win situation.
No.
It really is a no-win situation. And
run her to the plug if you're shooting a Bigfoot. That's all I can say.
That's crazy stuff. Well, interesting podcast.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I appreciate Rowdy coming on here and tell us the story. Seems like a really good dude. Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all and have a great day.
Watch for deer. Check out all of our great sponsors. Go check out Dirty Duck Coffee. If your coffee sucks, it is not the duck. Looking Glass Podcast, Lucky Duck, MLR Graphics, Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitters, Mallard Bay, Mitch Hall Chevrolet, Dive Bomb Industries, Ducks Unlimited, Pacific Calls. Use our promo code BHP25 and Boss Shot Shells.